Keith, we've got Christine, ready and raring to go there. We've got Tom, good morning, welcome. And Yvonne is joining. We should be going live now on Facebook and YouTube. And let's click the Instagram button and we're live on Instagram. Morning, Monday morning, focusing on breath, obviously with that element of movement with breath. So with that in mind, let's find our comfortable standing position. Let me swap cameras. And we'll do a little bit of a warm up. So a little bit of a shake, a very gentle shake to start off with. Let me just put the right glasses on so I can see the screen. Gentle shake to start off with. Shaking out the arms a little bit, just shaking out the shoulders, giving the legs a little bit of a shake. And then taking our feet shoulder width apart. Let's aim with parallel feet, but again, if you need to turn them out a little bit, but that's fine. But I just want to get that engagement through the whole lower body, so you feel that connection to the ground, and then that connection as we drive from the center point here. So just rotating very gently from the center. Lengthening the spine upwards. Knocking on the door of life. Getting that energy flowing. Breath is hardly noticeable, very light, soft. Face relaxed. So we'll do a little bit of warm-up movement and then we'll do final 10 minutes of today's session, just some seated, focusing on the breath. Lifting and lengthening the spine. Let's bring the arm that swings across the front into a light fist, and we're then just going on that long point, just underneath the collarbone. Visualize the tip of the lungs coming right up in that chest cavity. And here, let's just take a few slightly fuller breaths. Just slower breath in through the nose. Filling the lungs a little bit more and then letting go. Very slow, gentle. Slow breath in through the nose. And letting go. Keeping the shoulders very much relaxed. And then back to back and belly. Before we slow it down into water waves. Still keep that connection through the spine, lengthening towards the sky. And still keep that connection through the feet into the ground. Also just making sure that everything's balanced. So you've got that centre of gravity of the head, centre of gravity of the chest, centre of gravity of the pelvis. Watch that we're not leaning back or leaning forwards with this. So really keep those three dantians in line, nice and balanced. Often we think of stacking the body. That's fine. But personally, if we stack the body, everything's on top of each other, so it can become a little bit stuck. So I want you to think of lengthening up, and it's like they're just balancing, hovering over each other. It's like planets as they are connected, as they circle each other. And slowing it down. Again, having a little shake if you need a bit of a shake. Before we go back to shoulder width apart, hips back a little bit, spinal cord breathing, breathing in. This is where we consciously breathe with the movement. And then we tuck the pelvis and we breathe out. Breathing in as we expand. Breathing out as we contract. Using again the hips and the pelvis, spilling out the front of the pelvis. Tucking the tailbone under, spilling out the back of the pelvis. Check out if you've got any sticky bits. So we want the movement to be very smooth. It's like we're oiling the joints. And we want the breath to be very smooth as well. Going at your own pace, at your own rhythm. On the next inhale, let's just rotate to one side and do a breath in and out down that side. A couple of times. And then you do a breath in and return back down the center. And then repeat to the other side. And then just one more down the center. And take a rest. A gentle shake if you need a gentle shake before we move into feet shoulder width apart. Dog wags the tail. Gliding side to side, pelvis parallel to the ground. Have that spine just balanced on top of the pelvis to start off with. So notice there's no tilting side to side. Spine is upright. But then we free the spine. Still keep that spine long. And slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Take a nice full breath in, breathing in. And breathing out. And let's do this as a cleansing and clearing. So deliberately breathing, nice full breath in. And then breathing out. Just make a sound. That'll most probably disappear off the mic because it'll think it's interference. So like a whoosh sound. So breathing in. And nice and slow. One more. And then have a good shake out. So nice shaking of the wrists, getting the arms moving, freeing up the shoulders, shaking out the legs, so using the legs as pumps, and if it's comfortable, just tapping the heels into the ground. Again, if we want a couple of cleansing and clearing breaths, we can breathe in and we can make a ah sound on the breath out. So you can take a breath in and good old shake, really shake, 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 shake. And then slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Open up the shoulders, just standing for a moment. Open up the palms. Pulling down in 6 directions, just with very light breath. So gentle breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out. One more to each side. And then just interlinking your thumbs, resting on the lower dantian, bringing the feet together. And just a minute of bamboo in the wind where we're just closing our eyes, connecting to the ground through the feet, connecting to the sky through the crown of the head. Just relaxing into the face, into the jaw. Just letting your body very gently rock and sway. Taking a full breath in now through the nose calmly. Expanding the whole body, stepping the feet out. Opening your eyes. A little bit of a brush down. And then just finding yourself a comfortable seated position. That can be on the floor or it can be on a chair, whatever you prefer this morning. Just jump back on the other camera. So taking your time. So feet in contact with the ground, excuse me, or if you're seated on the ground, nice and supported and stable. We've got about 10 minutes, so making sure you're comfortable in this position for the next 10 minutes. Of course, if you start to feel uncomfortable, you can move, so we're not locking ourselves into a position. If you're seated on a chair, we've got our feet in contact with the ground. Are we nice and stable and supported on the chair? Really use that surface that you're sitting on to take your weight, so that you're giving yourself to that chair. You're not having to sink into anything or collapse into anything. Nice and solid on the surface that we're sitting. So you can relax the lower body. Just really relax the lower body. And then lengthen up the spine. Same thing, connect to the sky through the crown. It's important here that we don't become rigid, that we don't just become tight in this position. So think of a strong spine, a strong back, a strong backbone. But then we soften the front of the body, a strong back of the body, a soft front of the body. So we can, once we get that strength through the spine, once we get that connection to the sky with the crown of the head, we can relax into the face. So soften and relax. Bring your focus, bring your attention to that point between the brow, between the eyebrows. And just soften and relax into that point. Just bringing awareness there, that point between the brows. And then soften and relax into your eyes, into your eye sockets. Let's close our eyes. Usually say whichever you prefer, but let's close our eyes and just really bring some softness into the eyes, into the eyeballs, into the sockets. And soften and relax now the jaw, the cheekbones. You may feel you need to swallow, which is fine, which is good. And then just very gently resting the tip of the tongue lightly on the roof of the mouth. Soften and relax, soften into the throat. And then just soften into the chest. And then just soften into, just to the base of the ribs there, the front of the ribs. And you may already notice if we start to slump that upper body, if we lose that strength of the spine, it's very challenging to soften the front of the body. So you may have to check in with that strength of the back before we can help to soften into the chest. Soften into the belly, just say below the lower ribs. And then come down and soften right into the lower belly, into the lower abs. And into the hips as you're sitting. So strong spine, strong backbone, strong back of the body, and then soft front of the body. Face relaxed and soft chest, belly, down into the hips. And then just noticing how you're breathing the breath. Notice the response of any part of the body to your breath. So it might be in the nose, it might be in the chest, it might be in the belly, it might be in the back. But notice where at this moment in time you feel the breath more predominantly. And then stay with that point. And just follow the rhythm. And I'd like you to count 10 breaths. So in the inhale 1, exhale 1. So just do 1, 1, 2, 2. Just in your mind. So just counting 10 breaths. Don't worry if your mind drifts off, that's absolutely normal. But we're just counting those 10 breaths. Just 10 breaths. And you will have noticed that even though you are counting and focusing on the breath, your mind is drifting, your mind is wandering. That's absolutely fine. And we're often put off by sitting and focusing on the breath because we think, oh, my mind's all over the place. But the more you practice, just a few moments, bringing that attention to the breath, whether that's through the nose, whether it's in the belly, whether it's in the chest, whether it's in the back of the ribs, even if you just do 5 breaths, you're spending that moment focusing on the breath. So let's just do that one more time. So we'll just work through the sequence again, feet in contact with the ground, nice and strong and stable through the lower body. Supported on the surface that you're sitting. Strong back. Once we have that strong back, strong spine, that gives us the opportunity to relax the front of the body. So soften and relax into the face. The jaw particularly, we can hold a lot of tension. Jaw, brow, soften into the face. This is where the Qigong inner smile is beautiful, because if you just have that idea of a very soft smile, it really helps to relax the face. So soften and relax into the face, throat, chest, belly, have a little scan around, notice where you feel the breath, maybe a little bit more predominantly, maybe the nose, maybe the chest, and we're not trying to breathe in any particular way here, just let the breath be very natural, very light and soft. Maybe the ribs, side of the ribs, maybe the back of the ribs, maybe the belly, maybe down into the hips. Pick a point where you want to just bring that attention to the breath. And we'll just follow again those natural, light, soft, gentle breaths in and out through the nose, counting 1 on the inhale, 1 on the exhale. Up to 10. Then when you've done that, take a slightly fuller breath. Expand. And maybe you found your mind didn't drift as much, but again, I really emphasize that these practices aren't about clearing the mind. We don't want to be clearing the mind. It's just about training our focus, training our attention. And it's like with anything, unless we practice, you're not going to upskill, you're not going to improve your skill of breathing, of breath work. And again, we're not trying to do anything unusual or anything too hard there. Excellent. Hope you enjoyed that to start the week with. We'll be back on Wednesday for a little bit more focus on functional movement, strength and flexibility, obviously with breath involved as well. Thanks as always for joining. Looking forward very much to this new year and sharing with you. And as always, if there's anything in particular that you want to work on, if there's any particular focuses you want us to work on, just drop me an email or a direct message if you're on Facebook, YouTube or Instagram. I will see you Wednesday. Thanks for joining. Have a good rest of the day. Take care.
Bye everyone.
Bye bye bye.